This is a lecture on the later years. I think we stopped, those of you that are, quarantined, that we stopped at the middle of adulthood with, the four areas and, divorce, marriage, parenthood, and midlife crisis. The later years is probably debatable when it is, but we usually say around 60, 65. um, and it's the fastest growing generation. It's kind of get scary. We're getting older as a country, and that means a lot of people on Social Security, medicine, medical stuff and problems. Um, One of the things I want you to know is Genet's law. It's spelled Janet. It's French. It's pronounced Genet. Uh, and it's not in your textbook, but it's on the test. And Genet's law is the older you are, the faster time flies. And that is so true. To you, 2 weeks is uh, endless. To us, 2 weeks is nothing. So on the test, I'm going to ask about Genet's law. Um, the later adulthood does not have to be a period of decline. There are changes. Yes, obviously, we can't do things as fast as we did. You don't see a lot of old people on Jeopardy because they can't put the thing fast enough. Um, Fluid intelligence kind of goes down a little bit, but crystallized intelligence can increase. Um, you have reduced capacities, but learning still can take place. Um, let's look at the physical side. Um, of all the senses, hearing is the most common um, problem, and you can tell if you're in class about my hearing issues. Um, a lot of times, because people are like, I can't hear, you don't engage in a lot of social communication because you can't hear anybody. And people sometimes assume you're being uh, rude because you're not responding, or stupid because you don't understand. It's like talking to grandpa and saying, "Oh boy, yeah, Tuesday's weather was great," and he goes, "Oh, I don't think the Cardinals are going to win this year." You got to go, "What the heck's going on?" Um, Seeing can also is a problem. Both these can be corrected. Other capacities are slowed, but obviously hearing is the main one. On the cognitive side, we have there's no general decline. Doesn't have to have that. Dementia and Alzheimer's is not uh, totally part of growing old. You can go through those without having those two situations. Again, there's a decline in memory because it's not practiced. Um, uh, for some reason, because of the hippocampus, old people can't tell you what happened in 1902, but can't tell you what they had for lunch yesterday. You need to practice and keep things sharp. You can learn new things, and it's possible. You should. They say when people get older, they should watch programs like Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune, something to keep their mind active. Um, there's three things that you can do to help physical, mental, and social areas, and it's stimulation, stimulation, stimulation. You need to stimulate yourself physically, you need to stimulate yourself mentally, and you need to stimulate yourself socially. A lot of times you get older people tend to become hermits or isolated, and that's not very conducive to uh, having a more positive outlook on old age. Um, the last thing is Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of death. Now, this is not if you get hit by a bus. I mean, this is when you have a terminal illness. And this will be very easy for you because the names tell you exactly what it is. And um, there are 5 stages, and there's some debate whether they go in the exact order that Kubler-Ross said they did. They're not like Piaget's stages. Um, Stage one is denial, where the person will not accept the diagnosis. And this is a two-edged sword. because you don't want them to accept it, because you want them to fight it. Because once they give up, then we know what happens. Um, Anger is the next, and uh, the people take it out on their loved one. So you're a caretaker for somebody, you get the blunt of this. I know my father was ill for the last 6 months of life. He was just super hard to live with. You take it out on your caretakers, you take it out on God, you take it out on whoever you blame for the situation you're in. The third stage is the one that sometimes doesn't occur, and that's bargaining, where you make a deal with God. Uh, let me, uh, let me live till the Cubs win another pennant, which means it'll last forever. Uh, but the fact is that I'll wait till my daughter's born, wait till this is born, or wedding or graduation. And the funny thing is, in studies, people who made bargains have died within 2 weeks after the event. It's kind of interesting. Well, kind of sad too, but it doesn't matter. And then depression, obviously, you get depressed because you don't know what's coming. We're scared of the unknown. Is there an afterlife? Isn't there? All that kind of stuff. And then the last stage is acceptance stage. And this is where we have a strange occurrence here. In the acceptance stage, people become happier, they complain less, they feel better, and the loved ones think there are miracles happening that recovered, but that's not the case. So that's one reason why when people die, they have a long illness, you go, why? They know this is coming because they probably had the acceptance stage and they had their hopes raised. That should finish the chapter on development. I'll start the chapter on personality, depending on how long Emily is out. Okay, thank you.